Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Ritchie with Healthway Family of Brands, the global leader in air purification solutions. Today we're going to review a little bit about indoor air quality and the importance of providing air purification solutions to your customers, as well as review the Deluxe unit and some of its core features and benefits. The reason why indoor air quality is such an important context for your clients and customers is that as a human, spend on average 90% of our time indoors, reasoning that whatever is in that living space can greatly impact the health and wellness of the occupants. Now, clean water and clean air are the two most vital elements in a healthy home, and the reason that these two solutions go so well together. The good information about indoor air quality comes from major three-letter organizations like the CDC, the World Health Organization, the EPA, or the American Lung Association. And there's a plethora of information from each of these organizations highlighting the need for improved indoor air quality and the health impact that it has on occupants, to the point that the World Health Organization calls air pollution the greatest threat to human health, with over 4.3 million people dying prematurely from illnesses directly attributed to household air pollution. One of the things that I like to do is go online and look at the different news channels or organizations that are providing details on indoor air quality or air pollution. I typically set up a Google alert that provides a snapshot of the forthcoming information. And almost every day, there is another news article talking about the damning aspect of poor indoor air quality on human health. So before I started this presentation, I went on and got the most recent news headlines that are available today. And some of the concepts that were being talked about were improving indoor air quality for better public health from UC Davis Health in Berkeley, how air pollution levels may be higher inside your home than outside from Science Daily, or how air inside your home may be more polluted than outside due to everyday chemical products, or that these three everyday items are secretly polluting your home's air. And then the last one, of course, that nearly everyone in the world breathes bad air. Point being is that indoor air quality and air purification are extremely hot topics, and consumers are being educated at a rapid rate of the health implications of breathing bad air. So why does indoor air quality really matter? Now, there are a lot of risk factors. Indoor air pollution can be and oftentimes is more polluted than outdoor air, with literally hundreds of individual sources of in-home air pollution, things like mold and viruses to cooking gases, household chemicals, etc. Now, air quality or air pollution can create both an acute and a cumulative health impact. A single exposure from a highly toxic chemical or black mold can send people to the hospital. But really, we find that the cumulative impact of everyday pollutants being impacted in our body provide the greatest long-term threat. Now, there are certainly more susceptible groups, but anybody that's breathing indoors is susceptible to poor indoor quality and the health implications that they bring. But babies and young children do breathe in more air per body weight than adults, so they are typically more at risk, as well as people like seniors or compromised immune system individuals, those with already heavy cardiovascular or respiratory conditions like asthma or COPD. And then lastly, air pollution and particulates in the space do impact sleep quality, creating wake ups, snoring, and difficulty breathing overnight. We do know that the lack of sleep or disruption of sleep is a major contributor to all kinds of physical and mental health conditions. Now, the common indoor air pollutants that we find indoors, and I'm sure you've heard of some of these already, are things like pollen, dust, allergens, bacteria and viruses, pet dander, mold and fungi spores, cooking fumes, microplastics that are both in water and air, PFAS or forever chemicals, both in water and air, tobacco or environmental smoke like wildfire smoke, vehicle exhaust that comes from typically cars in a garage that have an immediate entryway via door into the home. Numerous volatile organic compounds that come from things like cleaning products, insecticides, pesticides, off-gassing of furniture and materials in the home. And this is just the average home, what is typically found indoors. This has really led the environmental health organizations like the World Health Organization to label air pollution as the invisible killer. The new data suggests that over 36% of all deaths from lung cancer, 34% of all deaths from stroke, and 27% of all deaths from heart disease, the number one killer in America, are directly attributed to air pollution. So it stands to reason that we need to take action, and we need to take action soon. So what is really in the air? Now, the EPA gives 3 classes of air contaminants that are typically found indoors. We just talked about a lot of different ones, but the 3 main categories are first particulates. And particulates come in many shapes and sizes measured by microns. A micron's an ultra small measurement term for really small items. So this can be things like dust mite feces, pet dander, your pollen, your dust, mold spores, microplastics, etc. Now, to understand ultrafine particles and the relative size of these particles, this snapshot really helps us to kind of visualize the invisible items that are difficult and impossible to see. Things like bacteria, red blood cells, or dust particles that are in the 10 micron size. And this really, again, helps you understand that there's a broad range of airborne particles in our space that can have a really big impact on our body. Now, these different size particulates have a different deposition level in our body. For instance, 10 micron particles, which are considered coarse, get stopped in our upper respiratory tract. Fine particles, which are ranked as around the 2.5 micron size, get into our lower respiratory tract or upper lungs. While ultrafine particles, the most damaging and the one that we're most focused on removing, are small enough that when we breathe them in, they enter into our bloodstream and impact every organ in the body. Now, the other contaminant that's classified by the EPA are gaseous air contaminants, or also called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. These can both be found in air and water as well. And what you start to see are a lot of similarities of both mediums of water and air and the contaminants that can be found in both. Now, a VOC can be everything from pet odors to kid odors to paints and solvents, cleaners that we use every day in our homes, air fresheners that we apply to mask odors in our environments, and the off-gassing of furniture and materials that we bring indoors, as well as pesticides and cleaning agents that might be brought outdoors from on our shoes. If we walk across the grass with a pesticide killer on it, we can oftentimes bring that indoors. So there's over 3,000 common VOCs found indoors, and they can be both created and brought in from outdoor sources. Now, the third contaminant that the EPA classifies are microorganisms. These certainly fall into the category of a particulate, being that it is a physical matter that can be measured. However, microorganisms are living and they are able to cause different damage in our body than just a material source like a microplastic or a piece of dust. So viruses, we're acutely aware of the impact those can have from the recent pandemic with COVID-19. And if you have a kid in school, you understand that airborne viruses and bacteria are just a fact of life. So controlling that in our indoor spaces can lead to healthier applications and less sicknesses that can be shared between individuals. Now, it's no doubt that we are what we breathe, we are what we eat, we are what we drink. And we breathe on average the equivalent of an Olympic-sized swimming pool every single day. Now, while we can choose the food we put on our body or the water source that we drink from, it is very difficult to choose the air source. Air is involuntary. We must breathe constantly to be able to survive. And over 22,000 breaths a day stands to reason that what is in each one of those breaths can be very impactful. Now, we also know that Our indoor air quality is 2 to 5 times and oftentimes up to 100 times worse than outdoor air, which has led to over 24 people in the US alone having asthma or other breathing issues. We also know that viruses, bacteria, ultrafine particles can stay airborne in our breathing space for multiple hours, making it more likely for us to come in contact with those issues. So, what does the EPA recommend that we do? There's really 3 steps to improving indoor air quality. The first is to eliminate the source of the pollution. This is going to be by removing things like black mold that might be visible, if you have pets in the home that you're allergic to, etc. So, source control is a step that we must all take to improve our indoor air quality, but it's sometimes difficult to know where the pollution might be coming from. The second step is to dilute the air when possible. That means open up doors and windows. But we understand that weather conditions in the winter or in the summer don't always allow for that to happen, as well as situations like wildfire smoke or pollen seasons. Every weather channel now has an outdoor air quality or AQI index that allows for individuals to understand the outdoor air conditions and make the decision if opening up doors and windows would be good or bad for the environment. Now, the third and last thing the EPA recommends to do is to improve the air with a high quality air purifier. And that's really where we come in, offering this type of solution to our customers. And we do that with the Healthway Deluxe air purification solution, one of the only units on the market designed to remove all 3 pollution categories typically found in the home: particulates, VOCs, and microorganisms. Now, this unit utilizes proprietary patented technology called Disinfecting Filtration System, or DFS. This electrically enhanced filtration technology allows us to be the most efficient on the market while capturing and killing microorganisms, as well as absorbing gases and chemicals, or VOCs, that come through the filter apparatus. So truly a one-stop solution on the 3 main pollution categories. Now, to understand how the DFS technology stacks up on filtration, this is another visualization of fine particulate matters and the size and scope of those in our breathing space. And as you can see on the far left, the Healthway DFS technology is certified to remove 99.97% of all airborne particulates at 0.007 micron, or as I like to call it, the James Bond of filtration, really standing us apart from all other solutions that are found on the market. Now, the Healthway Deluxe is a total of 9 stages of powerful air cleaning and absorption technologies. It does this with 2 main filters: the round top filter on that circular filter you see there, and the square filter, pre-VOC filter, that is in the back bottom of the unit. These solutions, these filter technologies, are going to remove ultrafine particles, mold, bacteria, and viruses. They're cleaning fluids and toxins, they're cooking odors, cigarette smoke, off-gassing the VOCs from paint, carpet, or new furniture, ozone, propane, gasoline, and diesel fumes, formaldehyde, pesticides, and the list goes on and on. Now, some of the other key features of the Healthway Deluxe, again, in addition to the 2 filters that are changed on an annual basis, depending on the environment, the customer would vacuum these clean periodically. They act much like a lint trap in a dryer, where if you do not vacuum it, then you will get load of dust bunnies and dog hair and pet hair that will really stop the airflow of the unit. So the only service that a consumer must do is to remove and vacuum clean the pre-VOC filter, the square filter in the back, periodically. Other than that, both filters are changed on an annual basis. Now, the Deluxe can be used in any area of the home, but it's always best to apply it where you spend the most amount of your time. That can be a living room, bedroom, a kitchen area, etc. It really just depends on the use application for your customer. Inside the box, there are both a remote control and casters, so wheels can be applied to the unit for easy maneuverability around the home. There are 4 speeds on the machine for control of both noise level and volume of air control, where on a high speed you might use when you have high occupancy or a sick person in the space, and a lower speed might be when you're recording a video or something of that nature. Now, the unit has very low energy, about the equivalent of a light bulb or two, depending on the speed setting. Comes with a 5-year manufacturer limited warranty, and the life expectancy of these units with regular service and filter changes is well over 10 years. Now, these units are not sold online, therefore designed to protect our educated dealers like yourself who are educating your customers on how to improve indoor air quality. I do like to take a minute to kind of more compare the DFS technology versus HEPA. HEPA stands for High Efficiency Particulate Air, and it is the most common technology in air filtration on the market. It is a 70-year-old technology, basically an extremely thick filter. As you can probably already guess, one of the main ways that DFS is superior to HEPA is that we not only remove particulates at a higher efficiency rate, but we also deactivate and kill viruses and bacteria captured in the filter and absorb VOCs through our media filter of carbon and zeolite. We look at this as a 40 times smaller particle capture than what a HEPA-based filter is based off of, meaning that we remove down to 0.007 micron, where a HEPA filter is based on a 0.3 micron. This also allows for very low airflow restriction, super quiet operation, and again, the VOC capture and microorganism kill that we already mentioned. What most homeowners are familiar with in filtration is their furnace filter, what is typically based off of a MERV rating, which stands for Minimum Efficiency Rating Value. The typical home usually has a MERV 8 media filter, which has a 0 rated efficiency at removing ultrafine particles. At best, because of airflow restrictions in the HVAC system, a MERV 13 might be utilized indoors, only providing a 50% rating efficiency. Comparably to the DFS technology, we are at a 99.97 and greater efficiency at those ultrafine particles. So a good way to help a customer understand that value proposition is comparing it to the regular furnace filters. But we really didn't want to just stop there. We wanted to also kind of compare us to the most commonly used products on the market as far as a portable air purifier goes. Now, the vast majority of these do claim a HEPA filtration efficiency, which would make them greater than 98%. Unfortunately, as you can see, none of them stack up to HEPA efficiency, while the DFS technology shows with laser particle meters over 100% efficiency at removing those ultrafine particles. So how do we sell this equipment? How do we start the conversation with our customers to help them understand the need of improving indoor air quality? Well, it first starts with an introduction. As you get to inform your customer as you arrive, you are a wellness company. You offer water and air purification solutions for the home, and you'll be talking about both of those with them. That introduction that can be done in many different ways is the icebreaker, so that when you do start to talk and ask about air quality, it is not a foreign conversation. The second step is our needs analysis. This is already happening with the customer as it relates to their water uses and their water concern. Tweaking this just a little bit to ask about things like, does someone suffer from allergies or asthma in the home? Do you notice lingering odors? How often do you have to dust? Are going to help identify for both you and the customer the need to improve their indoor air quality. And the third and final step with a basic introduction, a basic needs analysis, is a package sell. You know, Mrs. Jones, based on the information we've been talking about today, I think that you would really benefit from our total wellness package that includes not only the water systems we talked about, but a state-of-the-art air purifier that's going to help relieve some of those allergy and asthma symptoms we talked about, control a lot of the odors that are found in the home, and just make an overall healthier environment for you and your family. It makes sense, doesn't it? And so that package sell is really where the success will come in. But it does start with the introduction and the conversation needs analysis so that they can identify their needs for improved indoor air quality. It's no joke, and it's pretty obvious that air and water go naturally together. We find the same contaminants in both water and air. We are serving the same customer. Your customer is looking for improved wellness solutions, and who better to offer it to them than you? This wellness opportunity that we find ourselves a part of is growing faster than the global economy. 40% of homeowners, when they go to remodel, say that the health was a major motivation. And 70% of home buyers rank a home's health imprint as equally or more important than things like aesthetics, longevity, or cost, meaning that people are looking for the right solution to improve the wellness of them and their family. What we've also created to help you on this path and to help you be successful are a multitude of different training modules and videos to educate, empower, and equip you with what's needed to be a professional air quality service and sales consultant. These modules that are both in PDF format, PowerPoint format, and video format are designed to continually educate and improve your knowledge base on the industry and our equipment. With this becomes a certified dealer certificate. The quizzes that we have created after the training modules and videos are designed to identify you as somebody that's gone above and beyond and taken the next steps as a sales professional to understand their industry and the products that they represent. I always would encourage to continue to learn, and resources that are provided here will help you do so. Our partnerships and our certifications really speak for themselves, from CARB certification of zero ozone production, UL validation, CSA certification, the Global Wellness Institute sponsor, parent tested, parent approved winner. We are always finding ourselves up against competition, and these certifications and partnerships really help identify us as a superior technology and solution in the indoor air quality space. But more importantly than that, it's really the trusted brands that have chosen Healthway solutions to improve indoor air quality. We have done projects from Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott, Procter and Gamble, Harvard, the Cleveland Clinic, just to name a few. Meaning that if these Fortune 50 companies can trust Healthway to improve their air quality, certainly your customer can trust the Healthway solutions as well. And we hope that this information kind of gives you confidence that you are representing the superior product out there to improve the air quality of your clients. I really want to thank you for this time and for your continued effort to be educated and knowledgeable on indoor air quality and the Healthway solutions. I encourage you to continue to go through the dealer portal and watch the additional videos that will help you on your journey. As always, we're here to help and support you. We look forward to further training sessions together. Thank you.